Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to our July Chamber Luncheon. Very excited to have everybody out today. First and foremost, I'd like to have Pastor Jeffrey Griffith from Denham Street Baptist Church please come forward and bless today's meal.
Amen. Thank you, Bobby. I don't usually tell a lot of jokes, but it just so happened today that I'm going to stay and eat because we're having fried chicken. And you do know why Baptist preachers like fried chicken, don't you? If you know your Bible, you know that the cock crowed and told on Peter 3 times, and because of that, we've been trying to put him out of business ever since. Let's pray, all right? Heavenly Father, we thank you for every expression of your love to us. Thank you for this great community that we're privileged to live in. Thank you for our leadership, Mayor Keck, and our Chief of Police, Chief William Hunt, and our Sheriff Bobby Jones. Thank you for the Chamber Commerce staff. Thank you for this great luncheon they put on each and every month. Lord, we thank you for the businesses of this community. Lord, would you continue to prosper each and every one of them? May it be a great fiscal year for all of them. The revenue out of the top. Continue to bless us as we share this meal together. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you very much, Pastor Griffith. We sure do appreciate you being here today. I'm going to go ahead and invite up our, we have a 1-2 for Tuesday today. I'd like to go ahead and invite up Mr. Steve Estep from Estep Energy, our newest world-class sponsor, and very excited to learn just a little bit more about Estep Energy and hear from Steve.
Thanks for having us. Just tell you a little bit about our business. Estep Energy is a wholesale fuel distributor and convenience retailer, and we have offices here and in Lexington. In December of 21, we acquired Cumberland Lake Shell, and we continue to operate the bulk plant facility over on Railroad Street, where we have farmers, industrial, commercial customers that either come there and pick up fuel, or we deliver it to their location with our dependable team of drivers. We have a fleet of tractor trailers and a logistics division, and we deliver various brands of fuel, Shell, Marathon, BP, and others to gas stations throughout central and southern Kentucky. The retail arm of our business it's really where my passion's at because I grew up working in the stores. We operate 11 Estep Shell locations, including 4 here in Somerset, and we plan to continue to grow and by building new sites, acquiring other stores, and just trying to improve the customer experience at our existing network. Just a little bit about us. We're a locally owned family business, and we try to embody the slogan, "We are Kentucky proud." I learned the business from the ground up, working the cash register, stocking coolers, pulling weeds, and all the other jobs that make our convenience stores go. We've been trying to keep convenience cool, is the way we say it, for almost 50 years now. We've been in business, my dad before me, and we employ about 175 people company-wide, with about 40 of those people directly here in the Somerset-Pulaski County area. We believe in investing our employees and our locations and our customers, and that goes beyond just saying, but by making donations in the community and sponsoring great organizations like this. So we're proud to be a world-class sponsor of the Somerset-Pulaski County Chamber of Commerce, and we look forward to partnering with Bobby and his staff and continue to be an active member, growing our business in this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Just want to say how much we've appreciated having you on board here and all the good work you're doing here in this community. We really appreciate having you as a new world-class sponsor and appreciate having you and your company here in Pulaski County. A couple of announcements before we turn the luncheon over. So on your tables, you might see some flyers for our upcoming legislative update on July 20th. I would encourage everybody who is interested in hearing from our local elected officials. That might be a good event for you guys. So this will be our state elected local statewide representatives and our state senator, Rick Girdler. So all of our delegates will be at the Harbor Restaurant on the 20th, 5:30 p.m., and they'll talk a little bit about this past session and what they accomplished, and a little bit about what they hope to accomplish in the upcoming session. So with David Meade being in attendance that night, and he is the Speaker Pro Tem, so I think that's a fancy way to say he's second in command in the State House of Representatives. When he talks about something that he'd like to get passed, it's probably a good chance that it very well might get passed. So we're excited to hear from those guys, and it's a chance for us to hear a little bit about what they're accomplishing here on the local level as well. It's a chance for you to engage with them, talk to them, ask them questions. So that'll be, again, Thursday, July 20th. Also, on August the 10th is our next RISE Women's Leadership Luncheon. So if you have not RSVP'd for that, should be a really good one. You know, we started this last year. Tiffany Finley put this together. This will be our 6th installment of the RISE Leadership Series. And this one's going to be focused on women in elected office. So we're actually going to have a panel of elected women. We're going to have various mayors, judge executives, and city commissioners from across Southeast Kentucky that are going to be with us for a panel discussion. And then our guest speaker will be our state treasurer, Allison Ball. So it should be very interesting. And ladies, you know, to hear from the perspective of a woman, the challenges and the hurdles sometimes of running for elected office. So again, that will be at the Harbor Restaurant as well. And that's going to be on August 10th. And that will be a noon luncheon series. So if you have not RSVP'd for that, please go ahead and do so quickly, because when it's full, it's full. There's only a certain amount of seats that we actually have on the patio for that. But it's completely free as a chamber member to attend. We just ask that you RSVP so we know you're coming. And then next month, I'm going to go ahead and just put in a special plug. Next month's luncheon, so exactly 1 month from today, always one of our largest attended luncheons of the year. We'll be doing our State of the Chamber, State of the City and County address. So we will have our judge executive, Mr. Marshall Todd, and we'll have our City of Somerset Mayor, Mayor Alan Keck, with us. And they'll be talking a little bit about what they've been accomplishing over the course of the past few months and what we can hopefully see in the future. Maybe some fun stuff that they might announce. You never know. They haven't told me of anything, but I mean, you never know. It might be a fun announcement. You know, the paper will be here. Could be a great chance to announce a big project or something like that. But that'll be next month at our chamber luncheon. So hopefully everybody will consider coming out for that as well. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and turn the program over to my boss, President of the Chamber this year, Mr. Sean Doherty.
I'd like to make a grand welcome to our guests and our members today, and I'd also like to welcome our public officials. I think it's so important that our public officials are out here in the community. They represent us every day, and I appreciate that they're here and they're looking at what our needs are, especially from the business community. So I'd like to say a special thanks to County Judge Executive Marshall Todd for being here, our Mayor Alan Keck for being here, and of course Brian Mills from Rand Paul's office. Thank you for being here. We appreciate your representation that you provide us, and thank you for spending time with us at our luncheon today. Of course, the Chamber's work wouldn't be possible without the financial commitment of our world-class sponsors, our Chairman Circle sponsors, and our Ambassador Circle sponsors. And of course, you can see them up here on the wall, and there are some flyers at your table. I'd like to thank them for their commitment. If you're out there and you're wondering how you can help our chamber, financial commitment is important to us and helps us keep the many programs that we have going to support our community live and vibrant. So if you have some thoughts and you want to step up to those levels of sponsorship, certainly feel free to talk to us. Anybody at the Chamber office, myself, we'd love to have you as a financial sponsor. I'd like to say a big thank you to the Center for Rural Development. I was thinking this morning how blessed our community is to have this facility to do different programs out of. And of course, it came to my attention today the lady who was very instrumental in starting the Center for Rural Development. The first CEO, Hilda Legg, is here with us today. So I want to say a big thank you to Hilda and of course Lonnie that's carried the torch. The center is very important to us. Thank you to Sassy Spoons for the lunch provided today, Pepsi Cola Bottling of Somerset, and Coca-Cola Bottling of Somerset for the drinks today. Now at this time, I'll have our Miss Lisa Phelps to come up and introduce our new chamber members for the month.
Please join me in welcoming our new members this month. If you are in attendance, if you'll please stand to be recognized. Black Mountain Strategy Group, Joshua Waters. Diego's Mexican Restaurant and Grill, Anthony Miller. Dream Market Shops, Shirley Cook. Duck Pros LLC, Jason Humphrey. Education and Labor Cabinet Career Development, Randall Thomas. Fiat Products LLC, Eric Vanover. Gum Lawn and Landscaping, Blake Gum. Honestly Clean LLC, Misty Smith. Limestone Manufacturing, Winston Crawford. Pingleton Contracting, Cruz and James Pingleton. Southside Electric and Lighting, Cheryl Gastineau. Spicy Tree Service, Renee Tamoxtel. Superior Docks LLC, John Mark Toby. The Cumberland Group, Brian Adams. The Green Room Barber, Samuel Tung. Total Pediatric Therapy, Michael Codarn. The Traveling Soul, Tiana Shiles. Thank you all for joining the chamber, and I'm sure you'll enjoy all the benefits that we have to offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. We're super excited about the new membership growth that we have. So if you know somebody out there that would be a good chamber member and could benefit from the services that we provide and help our community grow, certainly help us get them here and get them as a member of the chamber. At this time, I need to recognize our information tables. We have a lot of folks here with information today. Of course, we provide the information tables free of charge to members. All you have to do is call the chamber and reserve one of the spots. We have about 20 tables each month that we can provide, but I'd like to list off everybody who's here today with the information table. Campbellsville University, Lake Cumberland Real Estate Pros, powered by Keller Williams Bluegrass, 5-Star Title, Heads Up Digital TV, University Center of Southern Kentucky at Somerset Community College, the Center for Rural Development, Crown Staffing Services, Kinetic by Windstream, AIM, First Choice Clinic, the Travel Soul Message, Kentucky Education and Labor Cabinet Career Development, Somerset Junior Women's Club, United Way of South Central Kentucky, SPIDA and the SPIDA Community Foundation, Slim Chickens, Baptist Health Mental Group, Primary Care of Somerset, Skyhope Women's Recovery Center, Connect Community Village, Bluegrass Veterans Ranch Wellness, Wellsprings Wellness. A big thank you to you guys at the information tables and the information that you provide to our members. Appreciate you guys being here. Remember, if you want an information table, call the chamber and reserve that ahead of time. We do have limited spots, but we'd love to help you with that service. Next, I'd like to recognize our ambassadors. You know, our sponsors provide a lot of the financial support, but our ambassadors are the boots on the ground doing the work of the chamber, and we couldn't do what we do without them. So if you're an ambassador, would you please stand to be recognized? And I might say, if you're thinking of being an ambassador, we'd love to talk to you about that. We have a lot of fun. I've seen these ambassadors work together, and they have a ball. And this month, one ambassador stood out a little more than the rest and provided a lot of value to the chamber. So I'd like to present Reese Shook with the Ambassador of the Month Award. Okay, of course, today we have two corporate sponsors. Of course, Campbellsville University, and we'll hear from them here in a bit, but also Keller Williams Bluegrass Lake Cumberland Realty. And I believe Nelson Weaver is going to come up and talk for a minute about his group.
Thanks, Sean. Sean was a big part of getting us to kind of up our level to a world-class sponsor, and we're very appreciative to be a part of this organization. We have a very vigorous chamber here. The growth, I was just listening to all the new names coming on. Just really exciting to see what's happening in our area with our elected officials. And a lot of the stuff going on, just like with Campbellsville University and a lot of the good things that they're doing. And it's just wonderful. We're grateful to be a part of that. And I've been in the real estate business since 1999, going on 24 years now. I know several of you, but many of you may not know me. But my name is Nelson Weaver, otherwise known as Millie Weaver's husband. Millie is an incredible real estate agent in our office, and I'd like to also let the rest of our gang stand up. We've got Jordan Atkins, Vicki Birchfield, Rose Whitaker, my wife Millie, and Amber King. These guys were just the ones that I strong-armed enough to get to come today. The rest are out and about hustling, but they work so hard, and I appreciate them so much. Thanks, guys. But we've been doing real estate for quite a while, and I've been an independent most of that time. But we recently partnered up with my friend Michael Prather out of Lexington with Keller Williams Bluegrass. And through that partnership, we've always focused on marketing and great service, but Keller Williams is basically one of the #1 companies for agents and growth, and that is something with the ever-changing market, depending on your industry or whatever, we always have to move forward or we're moving backwards. So this was a great opportunity for us. They're very focused on technology, team building, and training and support, and those are some of the areas that I needed help with in the past. We're a very service-oriented company, focusing on our customers and clients' needs. That's anything different that you do in your industry. But one of the biggest factors is basically some of the other industries, if you've ever thought about a different career or something that you could get in from an entrepreneurial standpoint, the real estate industry is growing. Our Lake Cumberland industry is growing, and this is a wonderful place to grow your real estate business, and for our company to continue to be competitive and keep up with people like Matt Ford over there, and the growth that they've had, which I'm super proud of Matt and your gang. We're making some steps to hang with them, basically. But just quickly, you know, what we're about is having careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. So we're, once again, thankful to be here today and be a sponsor and support our community and organization.
As I listened to Nelson and looked out in the crowd, I realized that I see another elected official there that tried to slip by without getting recognition. I see Mayor Robert Lawson from Burnside here, so thank you for being here, Mayor. Okay, next I'm going to welcome to the stage Angie Travis, who has a special recognition, and she will also introduce our guest speaker.
Hello, I'm Angie Travis, the director of Campbellsville University here in Somerset, and I just want to say that Campbellsville University is honored to be a part of this community. We are blessed with a center here full of students and striving in this community to offer new opportunities for students. So today, as we have Dr. Hopkins here, our president, to speak today, we have not had a luncheon with Dr. Hopkins since we had 2 winners of the YAY program. So I'm going to invite Reese up. Today we are going to present 2 full-year, 4-year scholarships, tuition for 2 recipients. 2022 winner of the YAY scholarship, and Morgan, if you'll come up, is Miss Morgan Woodall. So she is here today. So we'll take a congratulations, Morgan. And this year, just recently in May, we are happy to announce Miss Lacey Johnson as the 2023 YAY Entrepreneur winner. And so now I have the privilege of introducing our speaker for today, Dr. Joseph Hopkins. He began his career as president of Campbellsville University in February of 2022. Dr. Hopkins has recently served as the dean of Samford University School of Arts, the dean of Petrie School of Music at Converse College, and the chair of the Department of Music at the University of Evansville. He founded the Harlaxton International Chamber Music Festival and served on faculty of the Operafestival di Roma in Rome, Italy. And some of you all that are coming out to the Master Musician Classical Music Night on Thursday will get a chance to hear Dr. Hopkins and his wife as they open for the Louisville Orchestra, so we're very excited about that. Dr. Hopkins holds degrees from Shorter College, Baylor University, and Indiana University. He completed a diploma from the Institute of Management and Leadership in Education at Harvard University and was named a Fulbright Senior Specialist in Indonesia. He has presented and published with national and international arts and administrative conferences. Recent events include performances in India, the Dominican Republic, and in virtual broadcast. He served as the worship pastor at First Baptist Church of Birmingham and in churches in Kentucky, Indiana, Georgia, South Carolina, Texas, and Alabama. He is a Kentucky colonel, the husband of Mrs. Suzanne Hopkins, and the proud father of 2 young men, Joseph and Vance. And he also has a handsome Scotty named Winston, who we get to hear about a lot. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Dr. Joseph Hopkins.
All right, let me begin by saying again, congratulations to Morgan Woodall and to Lacey Johnson for your accomplishments, and congratulations on that scholarship, but congratulations on your entrepreneurship. We're proud of you, and just everybody in this room, can we say again how proud we are of these students? Well, if you've heard me before, you know that this is the moment where I like to brag about Campbellsville University, but you've heard me before, so today I'm not going to brag about Campbellsville University. What I'd like to talk to you about today is I'd like to talk about solutions for the challenges that face higher education today. And I would like to brag about Campbellsville University. So rest assured that will happen. There are so many challenges around us, but we live in communities in central Kentucky and southern Kentucky where there are great things happening. It's just encouraging to walk into this room and to be a part of what's happening in Somerset. I drive down the street and I see thriving business, and I see how this community has come to life, and it is a beautiful community. Suzanne and I love to come over and just be a part of what's happening in this community, whether it's here to worship or to eat at a nice restaurant or whatever it might be. It's a great place, and you have a fantastic thing going on. And this space is incredible. I know this is the dream of Congressman Hal Rogers. I know that it was implemented and started by our own alumna, Hilda Legg, the first CEO, as we said. But what a gift to this community. She took me on a quick tour just right before we started here, and I had a chance to see what a gift this is to your community. So thanks for letting me be a part of that. There are a lot of challenges facing higher education today. And if you read much about it, you'll start to think that this is some kind of doomsday moment. But the challenges that face higher education today are like the challenges we faced in decades and centuries before. They're really opportunities to transform the way that we deliver education, the way we think about education. And that's the way we're trying to approach this at Campbellsville. So I'm just going to run through some of those challenges that face us today, and let's talk about those, and let's talk about ways that we can approach them. And I think they apply directly to Somerset. We think they apply directly so much to Somerset that we are here teaching in your community and joining with you to prepare young men and women, older men and women, to become more prepared to serve in this community. The first thing that's happening across our nation right now is a demographic shift. Back in 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11, there was a sharp decline in the number of births in our country. Well, that starts to impact us about 18 years later, you can imagine. And that's happening right now. If you look at this next slide, you'll see a chart that shows what's happening with the number of 18-year-olds in the country. It peaks at 2025, and then it just drops off like a cliff. That's the cliff that we hear about. And the number of 18-year-olds going to college will decline. What you don't see on this chart is that in addition to that, in our communities, there have been fewer and fewer students choosing to go to college. So you add that to this, and you have a really sharp cliff falling off. What is a college to do if we don't have 18-year-olds? Well, you can imagine this isn't rocket science, but it is something that's troubling a lot of universities around the world or around our country. And be sure, this is something that we've had to grapple with and think hard through. But one of the solutions we're seeing is to think of the college student as being the 18-year-old that's coming out of high school that has had incredible accomplishment, just like Morgan and Lacey, but to also think about that student who is remaking their life, who's going back to get a master's degree, maybe a doctoral degree, or to think in a different direction and to think about somebody who says, I have skills, I have a lot to offer the economy to provide for my family, but I'm going to go into the workforce in a little bit different way than typical higher education. And so I need a certificate. I need training in a workforce skill, whether it be welding or allied services, allied health, cosmetology, barbering, HVAC. And those programs are programs that we've developed at Campbellsville University to prepare students to meet the workforce demands. And there have been incredible partnerships with our state to make this possible. So most of those students are graduating without any debt and often without any expense through the period of a full-time year of preparation. They graduate as master technicians in HVAC or plumbing or in the allied health services or whatever area they may be in. And often those same students go on and pursue a bachelor's degree or a master's degree because they discover, you know what, I'm a pretty good student. So those opportunities abound. And we continue with looking for more and more ways that we can serve the public through those areas. There's also the area of re-education that we're now calling micro-credentialing. This means that we don't necessarily go after a full degree, but often what the industry needs is a specialty, perhaps a specialty in artificial intelligence and how I manage artificial intelligence. And a company just wants to send that employee back to get a few courses in that specialty area, but not a whole master's degree or bachelor's degree. We're looking at that as another solution. When we put it all together, what really happens is we have more students than we've ever had before. And there's an incredible opportunity in front of us. So the landscape for higher education is not a woe is me situation. It's a we need to change situation. And there is a great opportunity for Campbellsville and for this community. Another huge challenge that you know of already is that challenge of cost. The cost of higher education has far outsurpassed the inflation that is around that. And as you look at the cost of higher education across the nation, it's almost inexplicable. How in the world is a college degree so expensive? And we begin to question the value of that college degree. It's driven by diminishing enrollments, so this cliff is going to be a factor, and by excessive amenities. Excessive amenities. What could I mean by that? Take a look around at what universities are doing. Universities have posh, luxurious condo-like dormitories. This is a real thing. One of the most popular additions at large universities is a lazy river or a water park. It goes on and on. There's ski resorts in the north with universities. Universities have stepped off into a place of high-level amenities. And what we're trying to remind ourselves of at Campbellsville is stay focused on what matters. Yes, we want to put our students in wonderful dorms, and you should see those beautiful townhouse villages that our students live in. They're incredible. They're nice. They're beautiful. But we don't cross that place over into high-level amenities that drive the cost. Stay focused on what matters. Provide a great experience. Invest in who we are. Remembering who we are as Campbellsville University has been an important task for my first year and a half, and to stay focused on the fact that here we are in central Kentucky, and we need to make sure that our university is serving and connecting with the community that we live in. So thinking about the needs in a rural community. I just had a wonderful conversation about the need for rural economic development. It's what this place is about, is rural development. And how can our university be focused on that? And how can we develop programs inside of our business school that center in that area? And then the other thing is to reduce debt. If we're going to address the issue of cost, we have to reduce debt. And of course, as I brag on Campbellsville University, I'm proud to say we are one of the national leaders in graduating students with no debt or low debt. And it's not a secret. The way you do it is very intentional. It's through careful counseling and financial aid with students to make sure that we're helping them understand their debt situation. It's by raising scholarship to help fund the needs of students. For instance, these two right over here. And it's in making sure that we're creating opportunity on the other side of that career path. But sometimes, and quite often, I'm seeing it happen right there on our campus. Our students are working. They're finding jobs on our campus where we create an abundance of opportunity, and in our community through internship and paid opportunities in the community that give them vocational advantage in addition to everything else. So this idea of actually being able to address debt right from the beginning is a wonderful way to go at college. One of my favorite examples happened just very recently. I was walking across the sidewalk and I met a student that I knew very well. He's one of the leaders on our campus. And Cody, I'll just say his name is Cody, stopped me and he said, I'm really struggling with the financial piece, and the only thing I see in front of me is to go into deep, dark debt. Well, let's not do that. Let's look at other possibilities. Cody recently joined our custodial staff. And one of the benefits of being on our custodial staff is tuition. So Cody now is earning his tuition for his bachelor's degree, while he also gets a paycheck, while he also gets real-world experience, and while he becomes prepared to do even greater things in the days ahead. I love that kind of attitude. The third challenge I'm going to throw up here is relevance. And you see this written about a lot in the newspaper. You hear it on the news. What's the relevance of higher education? How does it matter in my world? Really, the right way may be to say irrelevant. Is higher education irrelevant in the curriculum that it offers? I would say no, if we have ourselves focused on the outcome. And the outcome is most certainly to help a young man or woman to grow in who they are, to understand great thought and what it means to be a part of culture and society, and to get a job. There's no apology for that we want our students to leave, to graduate, and to have a place of employment where they can make a difference. I like to think of it this way, that we are a place of opportunity. Three things that we want to create in opportunity. We want to create opportunity for an education. We want to create opportunity for a living. And we want to create opportunity to make a difference. But here's the trick. If we provide an opportunity for education and we don't help you create that opportunity for a living, you may not have the opportunity to make the difference that you intended. So it's important that we have all three of those parts. Vocationally directed degrees, internships, and professors with real world experience. I'll just bring one to mind who might be nearby. There's a guy named Bruce Singleton. And Bruce Singleton, I'm just picking him out because he's here, but anybody else who might be here in the room could be picked out at Campbellsville University, because the people who teach you in the School of Education were teachers. The people who prepare you to be a social worker had a professional career as a counselor or a social worker. The person who teaches cybersecurity in our School of Business was in business law as an expert legal professional, helping people make their way through the early days of cybersecurity, and now helping our students understand the real world solutions. It's real world professionals, not just folks with the PhD, although the PhD, the doctorate, is a good thing to have. And by the way, we just recognized Dr. Bruce Singleton this May with his second doctorate. So we're not ashamed of those doctorates, are we? The fourth area I want to talk about is access. Y'all are a good audience. You're listening so carefully. Access. And this is really about being able to get over the wall. And I even mentioned this the last time I was here, if you remember, is that so many institutions have a wall built around them. And the challenge is to get into the institution or to be able to access that. Often it's the financial barrier that keeps people away. Sometimes it's the geographical barrier. But there's this wall that keeps people from being able to scale their way into higher education. Campbellsville University wants to knock down those walls. So we're building in communities so that we can offer flexible delivery. We have personalized virtual experiences, not just coming to you with online education, but creating those personalized experiences. And I'm really proud of the incredible ways that we're connecting, even face-to-face, with our online students. It's innovative and it's life-changing. And one of the great programs that we have going right now, students come every 8 weeks from all over the United States to Kentucky to take their courses in the business and management and technology fields. We believe that that's still an important component of education. So access is a really important piece in this, transcending those financial barriers. The fifth area I want to mention that's a challenge in higher education today is reach. And this is one I don't hear written about or talked about, but it's one that is absolutely transformational. And it's transformational to the point that this is what I saw about Campbellsville University that made me want to come here after 16 years at my institution in Alabama. Transformational in the area of reach. Studies say that most universities have an influence in a radius of 200 miles from their campus. So if my influence, my sphere of influence is 200 miles, then I can only impact the people in that circle. But somebody long ago at Campbellsville asked the question, what if we created more circles? What if we started to build a location in another area and we started to influence that radius? And what if we built yet in another town? And what if we came to Pulaski County and we set up something called the No Institute and we started to work in this 200-mile radius? That's why we do what we do, because it gives us the opportunity to make a difference in the lives of a community with these multiple campus locations. We're moving into Somerset with more and more strength. I was just on the phone with Dr. Casey Castle from over at Somerset Community College, a wonderful leader and a great partner in education. And we're talking about ways that Campbellsville University can come to Somerset through the Somerset Institute of Campbellsville University and bring that +2 to your community so that students can take that first 2 years, and they're great students that are graduating from your community college, and they're going to another community to finish their 4 years. We'd love to see them stay right here in this community, finish their 4 years, and perhaps even stay right here and invest in the economy of this community. So that's a part of what we're doing through that Somerset Institute. What does industry need? Those are the questions we're constantly asking. And then, of course, what do students in this community want? And so we're building programs in the days to come in those areas. Reach also includes reaching into new areas. I think we went by a slide just a moment ago. If you go back to that one, there's one with an orchestra up at the top. Right there up in the top right. That orchestra is the Masterworks Orchestra. It's a nationally celebrated festival. There are about a half dozen festivals like this in the United States. This is one of those those celebrated festivals that the best students in the world want to become a part of. And this one happens to have a Christian-based theme. It's the only one that has that. And they chose to move their operation to Campbellsville University this summer. They're there right now. They've been there for 3 weeks. They're going to be there for another week, performing every day. In fact, I'm going to be bringing some of the Masterworks folks over when we have the concert here Thursday night. You'll be able to hear some of the members of their quartet performing. But this is an incredible opportunity, again, to reach internationally through programs that touch the world. The last thing I want to say is in the area of values, and then I'll open up for questions. I just wrote this down almost accidentally the other day, and it really kind of hit me. You know, some of my most profound thoughts are accidental, not intentional thoughts, and this is one of those. Missing values create missing value. Missing values create missing value. Let me break that down for you. Across the country, in higher education, in public, private, and even in Christian schools, education is removing the conversation about values. It's being taken out of public schools. It's being taken out of education in all kinds of places. Let me say that again. Missing values create missing value. If we're not speaking about what we believe, if we're not speaking about the values we hold, education has just diminished. It's less. It has less value. When we interject into our higher education the values that we hold, yes, it gains value. And so we hold fast to that at Campbellsville University. We have a Christian mission. We invite discussions about faith, about our faith and about other faith. We invite discussions about what's happening in our society, and we invite discussions about making a difference. We have a guy on our faculty. His name's Dr. Sean Williams. Dr. Williams, every year, fills up a van with political science students, takes them to Washington, D.C. They meet with the leaders of our nation, go to the Capitol, meet with senators, congressmen, Congress people, anybody that will meet with these students and speak to them and hear from them. They take part in an internship that gives them an incredible opportunity to see how our country works and the difference they can make every year. This year, I was actually there when they arrived. We had a wonderful dinner. We invited some of our alumni to come and meet the students. It happened that I sat across the table from two students, and I can't tell you their name, and I can't tell you exactly the organization they worked with, but I'll tell you that one was the chief staffer for one of our nation's largest and most influential security agencies. That narrows it down to two. The other was a staffer for what has been probably the most visible congressional committee in the past 2 years. And that probably narrows it down to one if you're following with me. There was an investigation going on at that moment between that agency and between the agency and that investigation committee. Our two students were leading the two teams. I'm not going to call their names because that wouldn't be appropriate. But we could not have been more proud. Those students that we brought on the van were sitting at the table listening to this conversation in beautiful friendship and civility as they discussed their common work together for the good of our nation. I couldn't have been more proud. Two Campbellsville students making an incredible difference in our nation, deciding some of the most difficult questions and doing it together, reaching out to each other across a proverbial aisle to make a decision that would benefit you and me. Those students watching this happen in real time over dinner. were so excited by it, they met the next day for lunch and kept the conversation going. Here's the really fun part. 10 years ago, Dr. Sean Williams put those two students in a van and took them to Washington, D.C. They sat next to each other. They debated. They learned to love on each other and appreciate each other's differences. And they learned to grow together in how they might shape our nation, all the way from the time when they were a student at Campbellsville University to the moment right now today when they are leading what's happening in our country. That's what we hope to see happen today in the challenges that face higher education. That's what we hope to see happen today in Somerset community through the Somerset Institute. I thank you so much for just letting me share a little bit about what we face and the opportunity in front of us. And if we have a moment for a question or two, I can stay right here. Bobby? How we doing? Anybody have a question? All right. Well, thank you so much for your attentiveness and your support of Campbellsville University, and we look forward to growing together with you here in Somerset. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hopkins. Thank you. Okay, great. We are down to that part where we've got some luncheon door prizes. First off, I've got 20% off M&W Printing, donated by M&W Printing. $865-685-4. Next, we have a $100 gift card to Charred Oak, donated by Nelson Weaver's group, the Keller Williams Bluegrass, Lake Cumberland Realty. And you'll go see Nelson to get that gift card. 749-281. Here we go, right up front here. Good deal. Next, we have $20 from a gift card to RB Dry Cleaners, donated by RB Dry Cleaners. 865-685-8. 6858. There you go. Buffalo Wings and Rings gift card, $25 gift card, donated by Buffalo Wings and Rings. 749-314. 314, back here to the back right. Have a Hardee's gift card to Hardee's South, $20. And that would be 749-291. 291, right here. I have 2 VIP Master Musicians Festival tickets, donated by the Master Musicians Festival. 749-192. 192. All right. Next, I have a Tevis Cup, properly logoed, Campbellsville University. It's a really nice cup from Campbellsville University. 749-326. 326. All right. And last, if I could have Kevin Wilson come forward and lead us in the pledge. Kevin is with 106.1 FM and WTLO 1480.
Thank you, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, as I dismissed, don't forget that our next luncheon is August the 1st, and we will have the 5th annual State of the County and City Address. Both Judge Marshall Todd and Mayor Alan Keck will be our speakers. So look forward to seeing you next month.